Hello everyone, great to have you here. Today I want to talk with you about something very basic but important. After installing window tint, you may notice a printed mark. Let's talk about how to remove those marks effectively. When you tint your windows, there is often a mark left behind. Once the tint job is finished, you're driving and glance to the side, and then you notice a mark on the film, on the window that is. You can see the mark on the glass. Some people want to remove that mark, while others leave it as is. But if that mark is on a side window, and you see it in your mirror, sitting in your line of sight, it can feel very distracting. And the windshield has its most visible area, what we call the strike zone. It's the area most visible from below the driver's rearview mirror, down through roughly the lower 40% of the windshield. A mark there can get in your sight line. I'm the same way. When a mark like that is there, you really want to remove it. But once you try, it can be hard to know which product you should use. And even some tint shop owners may have trouble removing it effectively. People who are just getting started in tinting may try all kinds of chemicals and end up making mistakes. They may remove the mark, but strip the film's coating along with it. Then, to have that window redone, you need another appointment, another visit, and more money. Situations like that happen quite often. So today, I'll show you how to safely and effectively remove a mark printed on window film. First, why do window films even have these marks? Think about that for a moment. These marks, window film is a product sold worldwide. It efficiently blocks UV rays and heat. It's a powerful solution we know as window tint. But in Korea, films are marked. Why add a mark? You might be wondering. Now, the story behind these marks, how they first started, and why they came about, did not begin with a particularly good idea. You install window film, and the film itself is clear and clean. Then add a mark that could block your view. Of course, that was not the original intent. This is something that happens mainly in a few Asian countries, especially South Korea. It's a safeguard against counterfeit film. After window film is installed, you can't tell who made it or what brand it is. The manufacturer's logo alone doesn't tell you whether it is Fender, Rode, or Sunset, or Santana, and so on. So, beneath the small logo, we include a unique product name, so you can confirm, yes, this is that product. The film shade is also listed below the logo. You can take a photo and zoom in. When this kind of marking sits neatly along one edge of the glass, it can look clean and premium. But if it lands in the center of the glass, especially with the logo upside down, it can look pretty bad. Still, from a manufacturer's point of view, if we remove the marks, it's harder to identify the product, and all kinds of issues can come with that. You can get consumer complaints. Is it real or fake? Handling those questions takes a lot of manpower. Tint shops can also face all kinds of customer concerns. Maybe in a truly trustworthy society, where no one tried to deceive anyone, that would be okay. Then we wouldn't need marks, but it can't be helped. In Korea, these marks are necessary. And now we've started exporting to the US. Every US market product is marked as well. Once you've confirmed the mark is genuine and identified whether it's Fender, Rode, or Sunset, you can remove it without an issue. Usually, it isn't the customer, but the shop owner who removes the mark. So there's generally no problem. There is no issue for the customer, but even if the mark blocks their view a little, some shops send the car out because they're busy. That's when customer complaints happen. Then the customer calls and asks how to remove the mark. And if they remove it incorrectly, the coating behind the mark can peel, and I've seen cases where the tint had to be redone. It seems to happen in real life too. So how to remove these marks effectively. Today I'll explain it properly. There are two types of marks. One is a standard printed mark. That means the mark is applied with ink. This type is fairly simple. It is easy to remove, and even a low strength, mild chemical can remove it easily. Then there is thermal transfer printing. That's where ink is stamped onto the film with heat. The mark becomes slightly embedded in the film. In that case, it won't wipe off all at once with a chemical. You need to rub it 2 to 4 times. And use a soft cloth when you do it. Let me show you an example. This is the mark. Can you see it? I intentionally left it in place. That's about how large it is. Here's another mark too. This one was printed by thermal transfer, so it is firmly imprinted. It won't fade away even after years. What I just showed you is thermal transfer printing. This one is a dot print mark, so it is much lighter. Tint shop owners and installers should have no trouble removing it. This one is easy to remove. Wipe it with a chemical and it comes right off. That's the dot print type. Some people don't know the difference between dot printing and thermal transfer printing, and that can cause them some confusion. Once you understand the difference, it's easy. If it doesn't come off easily, it's probably thermal transfer printing. If it comes off easily, then it's likely a dot print mark. Once you understand that, it also makes it easier to explain it to customers and show that you know your stuff. Now let's talk about what to use for removal. What should you use? You know pain relief patches? Those can easily remove regular printed marks, not thermal transfer marks. Regular printed marks come off easily, but you'll have to rub pretty hard. A liquid pain relief rub can work too. Glue stick type adhesives and those sponges sold at stores called magic erasers. The kind you use to clean a kitchen sink. Wet one with water and rub, and the chemicals in it can remove the mark. But most of the problems seem to come from using a magic eraser. Shin patches can work too. But there are cases where they don't remove the mark well. So what removes the mark well without affecting the film? What material does that? This right here. I poured it into a different container, and it is acetone, the kind used to remove nail polish. So if you have a mark you don't like, remove it with acetone. Really. So how do you remove it with acetone? Take a look. This is a soft microfiber cloth. I put 1 or 2 drops on it. It is just lightly damp. This is a heavily printed thermal transfer mark. Let me wipe it once. I've wiped it about twice now. Can you see it? You can still see a faint trace on camera, right? There is still a slight mark left. Let's rub it once or twice more. There, I've rubbed it a few more times. Now, even when you look at it with the naked eye, the mark has been removed cleanly. And this is important. After removing it, lightly feel the surface of the film. If you use a magic eraser, it can strip the coating. And the surface may feel slightly rough to the touch. That means the film will be damaged later. It is 100% damage. So never use a magic eraser. That is the golden rule.